Extraordinary Nobodies was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Welcome to another episode of the Extraordinary Nobodies. It is KDot, always joined by Brendan, at least for now, because I'm actually doing some thinking. And last night I was high as shit, or I should say I shouldn't talk about how. I mean, I know it's legal now, mostly everywhere, but still don't think you should talk about it that easily. So I was under the influence of something last night, and I started just jotting down these thoughts and rambling, and I'm like, maybe I should record my ramblings. I mean, it seems like I'm on a slippery slope to schizophrenia, but still, I think
it is.
I think that makes sense. But beyond that, another reason that I kind of want to just do or get my thoughts out here and there is because working with you is a bane. It's a fucking bane of my existence. You are such shit at this. It's ridiculous. Like, you say you want to just be the talent, right? Which is you keep coming on here and you talk about, I'm the talent, I'm the talent, I'm the talent. It's okay. Last week, try to give you free game, whatever it is you wanted to talk about, right? Then what it is you do. You bitch and moan until you get on to talk about the shit that you already talked about. You probably had a blast last week. Weeks before, I come up with a list of topics. You just say, I want to show up and do the shit. Today, I come up with a list, send it to your ass, like, by afternoon. You got a list. There you go. We have to talk about Nikki Haley? Motherfucker, are you just talent? Or do you want to help with the list?
I'm talent. I'm mercurial, bro.
I'm mercurial.
Mercurial. You
No,
don't
you're
know
a
what's going to
fucking
happen.
asshole.
You don't know what's going to happen.
What
you never
you are
know.
is you're
Sometimes
a gaping,
I'm just going to show up.
You're a gaping.
Sometimes I need input. Yep.
You're a gaping fedora-wearing asshole. So
sometimes I just need to.
You cannot help.
Yeah.
You cannot help being an annoying prick. And even that, we talk about every week. We're going to watch The Last of Us so we could talk about it and discuss here on the show, right? Who's fucking watching The Last of Us up until 2 minutes before the show? No, hold on. Let me say that. Who's watching the show all the way up until 8:15 p.m., then shoots me a text, basically like, or no, gives me a call, like, motherfucker, I'm ready to record, because last time we saw about 8, then not realizing on your text messages, there's a message from me saying, let's push back to 8:30. A message in which you sent 2 messages afterwards. So you had to see my notification, ignore my notification, log
When you're Tom
on to the
Brady, you
search.
get treated differently. When you're Tom Brady, you get treated differently. That's just a fact.
We've seen Tom Brady's fucking text message between him and Antonio Brown. He's a man of class. You're a gaping asshole. Even if you are talented, you're a gaping ass. You're much more on the road to Kanye West than you are to Tom fucking Brady.
Oh,
that's what I'm saying.
Come on, we're not on the road to I Love Hitler yet. That's not true. We're on the road to.
I'm just saying that you guys are sharing a road. Okay, you might be on the service road and he's on the main lanes, but you're on the same fucking road, which is road to being an asshole. I mean, you're already there. You're in asshole land. You're in the city of the asshole.
I don't understand, because it's not like this was a new development when you recruited me to do this with you.
No,
You've
but
known
the
me
fans
for
need to
over
know.
20 years.
The fans need to know.
The fans need to know.
The fans need to know.
This is
the
me.
people that log
I've been this
in
person.
need to
Yeah.
know. I get it. It's why if you look back and look, if this is your first time joining us, I please beg you to go back and look at our other episodes. In episode 1 about the jab, when I say that in everything you do, you come across as elitist asshole prick. Ha! This is case in point. Okay? So I just want you to know that when I'm coming from that side of the argument, it's because of everything I know about you that they don't necessarily know.
Sometimes
you stuttering, buttering
criticism. Sometimes you have criticism. Sometimes you completely forget that you're supposed to watch a TV show because it wasn't on Sunday due to the Super Bowl.
Do you enjoy the show?
You know what?
Oh no, here's the thing. Here's what I also know. You called me Friday night from a buddy's, from a mutual friend's home or house party. Hey, what's up with The Last of Us? Hey, what's up with The Last of Us? Oh, yeah, they released the episode on Friday, so they're not going to be with the Super Bowl. Oh, legit. When I get back home, I'm going to watch The Last of Us. I'm like, okay, cool.
Forgot.
Last Friday, a week ago.
Forgot.
Yeah, I know. Look, dog, your life ain't that exciting. You call me and text me all the goddamn time.
It's not that exciting.
You can watch the show. Do you enjoy the show?
Yes. Here's my problem with the show. And it's yes. Here's my problem with the show. I fucking have been spoiled by Netflix and all the streaming services, and I now am one of those people who struggles with a weekly show. I like to watch them in bunches. That's who I've become. I'm not a water cooler guy. I want to watch like half a season in 2 days.
No, motherfucker, you're a podcast guy now. It's more important than shit to say at the water cooler.
That's true, but it's not my watching style. I like to binge.
Who gives a fuck? Your job right now when it comes to this show is what? Show up and watch The Last of Us within the week that you have to watch the shit. That's it.
That's true. Normally, The Last of Us would be something I did. So remember Andor, right? You tried to get me to watch that show for like a month before I did. And what did I do? I binged it in 2 days, right? And I really, really liked it. That's what would have happened with The Last of Us without the podcast. 110%.
But it's also because you're an antisocial prick, and the only guy that has to hear the end of your thoughts is me on the fucking phone. So you're not part of the weekly conversations that I'm a part of when I'm talking about TV shows, right? You're the guy that shows up. Hey, Ganine, I watched episodes 1 through 4, and now I gotta let you know.
I'm a little slow. Well, I can't talk to Alexi. Sometimes I talk to Derek, but he doesn't watch The Last of Us. But I can't talk to Lexi because he doesn't watch TV. I do talk to people at AA about it, and they like it. But we don't really discuss the TV shows. So yeah,
we're talking about the social contract. The social contract is you watch weekly with everybody else to be a part of the conversation. Not, I have my own personal Negro in Canine that I can call regardless of where I am in the series and let my thoughts out because I didn't do what everybody else part of the social contract does.
You enjoy my brilliant and organized thought. I want special treatment. I just need somebody to vent to with my brilliant thoughts on The Last of Us. Should we start with The Last of Us, or do you want to come back to it?
See, this is the thing. Why do you need such framework? Why do you need framework? Are you afraid?
Because the podcasts I listen to have framework. That's probably why.
I know, but the podcasts you listen to are fucking dull. I know that NPR gets blasted in your house 24/7, and that's probably filtering your mind with liking shit. Yeah,
what are my big podcasts I listen to?
America,
The Ringer, NFL and NBA show, Pod Save America, Pod Save the World, and Pardon My Take. All of those have structure. Pardon My Take's the loosest structure. Yeah.
Right. But it's the best show out of everyone you name. Now, the thing is, when you name Pod Save America, fucking nerds, and then you pick the two Ringer shows with the biggest nerds.
I love them. They're so good.
I get it, but that's the thing. Yeah. It's not, you don't go to the Ringer NFL show necessarily for fun. You go for information. If you want fun, you turn on Ryan Priscilla. If you want fun, you turn on Bill Simmons.
I like it because they generally have good analysis. It's not so much information. It's not like
a ESPN article, right? You fucking nerd. I don't want this show to be nerddom.
Nerddom. That's what I do, Kadeen. I do nerddom.
I want you to show up.
Hint.
I want you to show up.
Assholery. That's my niche. Nerdum with a hint with more than a hint, with a huge helping side of elitist assholery. That's my brand.
I know why I picked you to co-host this show with. I didn't need a co-host to do this. I don't need a co-host.
I'm not a co-host. I'm the talent, bro.
You know what? I'm not even going to fight you. I'm just refused to right now because I'm going to tell you, because I'm trying to be real. I'm trying to be really real right now, okay? I know why I thought it was a good idea for me and you to do a podcast together. Like, we have our group of friends that say, you guys need to do a show together, but the only thing they give a fuck about is us cursing each other out. That's really what it is. They love that little bit of nostalgic comeback when all of them are starting all these lives and doing all this kind of shit to make them feel warm and fuzzy is me and you bickering back and fucking forth. Fine. Get that.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's entertaining for anyone beyond that friend group. Right?
Very true. Yes.
That's true, right? So there's got to be more than that I decide. And motherfucker, are you clicking a pen again?
Maybe.
You piece of shit.
Maybe I'm clicking
3 jobs. 3 jobs.
Okay,
Watch The Last of Us. Watch The Last of Us. Show the fuck up and stop clicking shit on your microphone. God damn, I'm chewing gum and I'm causing less of a distraction you.
Sometimes you have to fiddle. Sometimes you have to continue
because
on your rant. I'm sorry.
autism.
We got sidetracked with another rant.
Jesus Christ. I know.
Continue your rant.
I'm doing that. I know why it is that I thought this combo works for a show. We both know a little about a lot. You know some more on certain topics because you stay in the know on certain topics. Beyond, I am a little more in the know when it comes to other things, right? You come from a...
Well, I wouldn't say a little more. My level of pop culture knowledge is non-existent.
But also, but here's the thing: day-to-day news stuff, I'll default to you.
Yeah.
I tune out most of the time, right, nowadays. If it ain't big-time election cycle shit, I'm like majority of Americans, at least majority of liberal Americans. I turn that shit off because I can afford to, okay?
Yeah.
So there's that aspect of it. There's also, you have high-minded ideas that white liberals like to think that... You have ideas that liberals at their core have, but aren't necessarily willing to admit it. You are because you don't care about coming across as elitist. That's gold. That's fucking gold.
Yes.
Especially when, on my side, I'm more in tune with the fucking people. And you'd admit that. I know what the people are saying.
It's hard not to be.
Streets are saying, right?
Yeah, but I mean, that's a low bar here. Yeah.
Once again, showing the elitism bullshit that makes you so special.
I'm in tune with the nerds on r/like fantasy and
the ones that listen to listen to how many boring episodes of Pod Save America they are and make sure that they listen.
Look, Pod Save America,
I don't give a fuck.
Very entertaining.
You know, here's what I know. John Favreau, change your name. There's a better version of you, okay? Now, beyond that...
a richer version.
There's a better you.
Yeah.
Just give the fuck up. You're the one that listens to Pod Save America all the time. That's not my demographic with this fucking pod, okay? Those motherfuckers have not come to terms with... I'm not denying it. I listen when I need to for certain aspects of things. Otherwise, I don't want to hear the shit. Just don't want to hear it.
Why do you think I wanted to chat about Nikki Haley? They did a great episode on Nikki Haley yesterday.
We are not Pod Save America, prick. This is not another show. Here's what it's not. This isn't. Here's what I know. This show is not another place. That is terrifying. Like some fucking thing at the end of the X-Files. See, I want to talk about UFOs today, but we'll get to that. At the end of the day, what it comes down to, all right? You shining through with everything you have are a liberal elitist asshole. You also spend time on your dog walks or whatever, thinking about whatever cracks that you want to make about Nikki Haley or any kind of thing, and you want to make sure you have a public space to get them off so that everybody knows how quick-witted
Would this be a bad time to mention that my internet's so shitty that you're breaking up horribly?
Your internet is breaking up horribly. I'm just hoping that here's the thing. How can you be such a liberal elitist and have such shit internet?
The position doesn't have to be internally coherent, bro.
Here's the time that I'd ask. Do you have anything else open? Do you have Netflix and YouTube in the background on right now?
Nothing. I closed everything down. It's just
God
Chrome.
Damn it.
We're working. I can see those little megabits, or in this case, probably kilobits, transmitting from my laptop. It's going slowly. Oh no, you're gone. Kadeen, something's gone very wrong. Something's gone wrong.
So the reason there's the abrupt fucking edit cut right there is because my computer crashed.
Just as he was shaming me for my unprofessionalism, his hardware calls it quits. I think his rage was too much for the computer to take.
No rage. There was no rage. But the thing of it is that I still stand firm. Your internet fucking sucks balls. My computer, the hardware, absolutely has crashed. I still don't know how I've gotten this much out of this computer. It's a fucking ThinkPad that a law firm had that I had to delete sensitive information off of at one point that they just gave to me. And then I've been using it to run every fucking podcast that I have. Pretty much. So, I mean, it's been a solid little workhorse and it's gotten the job done numerous times. But everything I said still stands true. Your internet sucks, and me asking if you had YouTube, Netflix, or something up and running is not something that does not come without a history, which made perfect sense for me to ask.
It's possible, but it wasn't this time. That's all that matters. That's all
Totally
that matters.
understood.
This time it was your little Thomas the Tank Engine computer.
It's not all that matters. It's not the only thing that matters. Like I said, everything I said
make it up the hill.
Still stands fucking firm. And regardless, just because you found some little fucking hole to crawl out of to make sure that you could criticize me does not mean that everything I had said previously does not completely stand true.
Your computer failed. Shut the fuck up.
All right, so let's get back to what it is we were talking about, and as far as tying it back into the show, and let's continue, okay?
Okay.
Why did you want to talk about Nikki Haley?
Because she's the first announced candidate for Republican nomination, other than
Why
Donald
do
Trump.
we need to talk about that?
Because it's funny that she's running.
Why?
It's because it's a waste of time to campaign, and we don't have to spend an hour on it. But it's a waste of time.
So it's a waste of time. So once again, it's a waste of time campaign that doesn't matter. Why do we need to spend time talking about it?
Because it's funny to mock her.
There we go. This show is not for you in your liberal white elitism to dunk all over everyone you want to dunk all over. I've talked about it in the Jab episode. I talked about it again in the police brutality episode. This is not the area that you're going to do that. Not here and not while I'm on this fucking thing. That's not what this show is. The show is supposed to be beyond that. When we have the conversation we have
Republicans,
100%, because you know what we are. I get it. And this is where it's going to take some growth from you, because I actually think you're fairly talented and I believe in you. Is that you are going to be able to be beyond just mocking fucking Republicans. It's lame. It's beneath you. And it doesn't serve any purpose other than driving off potential voters. I'm sick and tired of it. I'm tired of the elite bullshit. I'm tired of it from a standpoint of every time that anyone has any sort of platform from your side, all they want to do is try to prove how intellectually better they are and how much they think they're a better version of somebody else's. It's bullshit. It's all bullshit. You're no better than them. You're not.
It's all true. It's all true. First, we do that. We do. There's no doubt that we do it. But that doesn't change the fact that I'm highly
This is what makes Pod Save America fucking suck ass. This is what makes them suck ass. No, it's what makes it cool, because what you get to do, along with all your fucking buddies,
is get to laugh along. Get to laugh along with them as they were mocking Nikki Haley.
Guys? Aren't we smarter than those guys?
Yes, we are. Yes.
You're not. Okay, yes. Even if you are, fine. Even if you are, right? Here's what it is. You're boring. It's boring.
I don't know. Pod Save America makes a lot of money.
No, it's boring.
I'm not as talented as those guys. That's for sure.
Boring.
Yeah.
When you turn to Pod Save America for entertainment by a fucking dudes that worked in the Obama White House, right? Is when you start figuring out it's not about entertainment anymore. You know what's entertaining? Louis C.K. is entertaining. Dave Chappelle is entertaining. Those guys are entertaining because they actually. If you go to be entertained and to laugh, you go to a comedian to do that, not some fucking speechwriter.
I like the niche because it's both entertaining and it's informative.
No. Because here's what it is.
I learn things.
Here's what.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. Informative, cool, right? And their podcasting
both
can do that better.
Both informative and funny.
Understood, but
it's the merging that's what makes it ideal.
No, here's what it is. Here's what the merging is. The only thing you care about is to live in an echo chamber where you guys feel smarter and better than another group of people. That's it. It makes you. It's an immediate bath in a wash of me. It's an immediate. It's a visceral reaction to feel as though you're part of this small niche group of elitists that listen.
I don't think
to
it's
this
a small
bullshit.
niche group. It's a pretty big group.
No,
they have a lot of
viewers. No, I get it, and there are a lot of fucking white liberals that I can't fucking stand. Right, so like that's the thing is that you guys in your big cities and all that bullshit. Hating your gas stoves, even though the whole fucking debate is stupid shit. You guys love to feel better than others, and that's the only reason that stuff thrives. It's not because it's really funny. It's not. All they do is make clips on it. No, all they do are make the same fucking stupid quips. That's what it is.
They're different.
It's quippy bullshit.
We're not going to get into a debate about whether Pod Save America is a quality product. It is.
No, we are, because you know what is more entertaining then? Making quick pot shot on fucking Nikki Haley that we already admit doesn't matter.
She doesn't matter, but it's funny to make fun of her for not mattering.
You probably listen to her there's going to have, if they haven't already, Lord knows they will have an hour-long Pod Save America on fucking Nikki Haley. Have they done it already?
That's why I want to talk about it. I listened to it yesterday.
Right.
It was funny.
No, you know what? Here's what you do. Go on Reddit / Pod Save America, wherever the fuck those guys live, and comment there. This is not what this is.
Comment there.
This isn't what this is.
Okay.
It's dumb as shit.
Well, I'm still going to take the pot shots. There's no way I'm not going to take the pot shots.
Do it.
It's who I am.
Do what normal white liberals
do. It's like asking Steph Curry not to shoot.
Do what normal white liberals do. Stop being a pussy and actually use your Twitter account to do more than just scope out what other people are fucking doing. Make your own voice.
Use it for humor. Just
use your speak.
I didn't think my voice really needed to be heard.
It especially does not need to be heard here doing that. Go on Twitter like the rest of them do and do your little creepy bullshit.
I'm not one of those people who thought, everyone needs to hear my thoughts. No, I'm doing this, and we'll see how it goes.
No. You told me we need to talk about Nikki fucking Haley. That's the text you sent me. We need to talk about.
Well, if we're gonna do it, we gotta do it, right?
We don't have to do that. No, not at all. It doesn't matter.
I think it's a good topic.
It doesn't matter.
I think it's an important topic.
It's not.
She's running for president.
It's not.
It's interesting.
You admit it doesn't matter.
I find it interesting, motherfucker. I find it interesting and hysterical.
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
You don't find it interesting. You want to just make jokes.
I find it interesting. Yes, I do. That's exactly.
And you're not that talented in making jokes in that way.
What I find it interesting about it is
no, fuck you. I don't want to hear what you think is interesting about it. We're not gonna accidentally talk about it. Fuck you. It's not what we're doing. It's reverse psychology to slip in the back door and get your nigga alien.
Yes, I won't make fun of her once.
Not happening.
I won't make fun of her once.
No one here's the thing, guys. If you listen to us and you want to know what's going on with Nikki Haley, type it in the fucking Google and read a goddamn article. There you go.
Well, whatever you think is what you think what's going on with her. What she's going on is she's running for president. What we're discussing is our thoughts on it.
We don't care. It's a non-story. You said it yourself. It doesn't matter.
You suggested talking about the goddamn jets intercepting the Russia fucking the planes that came close to Alaska.
Yes. Why?
That's a big
Why do I want to talk about that?
I don't fucking know what happens all the goddamn time. It's like discussing the sun rising.
Why do I want to talk about it?
I don't know. Maybe it loosely ties in with the UFOs?
Yes!
Maybe?
Yes!
Boring.
See, that's the thing. The curiosity aspect of that, to me, is something that matters as far as in a pocket of a podcast. Where you know what me and you are? We're two fucking schmucks in our parents' basements doing a fucking podcast. Do you know what we should be talking about? What people are fucking talking about. And you called me out of the blue the other day. Out of the blue. Dude, what do you think about these UFOs? Cool.
I like the UFO topic. I didn't say against that. It was the fucking
whoa. Under the topics, if you were to look, because you quarter read my fucking text messages. If you pull it up right now and look at it, I did a breakdown by topic, right? And what do we usually talk about? The big topic, entertainment, and sports. There are multiple buckets under the big topic. No shit they have something to do with each other. I'm talking about all three together, asshole. With your talent, just show up.
You're gonna have to weave me the story.
What?
You're gonna have to. Okay. I'm on. We'll stick with the outline. Give me the outline. UFOs, train derailment, and the fighter planes intercepting Russian bombers. I don't see how we weave that into a coherent whole.
There we go. There we go. I don't know if you know. Do you order Subway at all? Do you get a Subway?
Never ordered it. I do enjoy occasional Subway sub, but I've never ordered it.
What kind of Subway sub do you usually get when you get a Subway?
The spicy Italian or the buffalo chicken sandwich. Yeah, spicy Italian.
I'm a meatball guy. They do the meatball with the pepperoni. I'm good with it.
I just don't think the meatballs are very good.
They're not. They're cheap pieces of shit. But it's like getting frozen fucking meatballs. Or if you go on a plane and get spaghetti meatballs, you're not you're expecting you're not going to get Italian restaurant quality. It's frozen fucking meatballs, so you don't really give a shit. It's whatever it is. That's what they are. But the main thing is you add pepperoni on the meatballs, and it sets it apart. Okay? I'm on Harford Road in Baltimore County. Subway's does this special every once in a while where you can buy 1 foot long, get one free. It's a great fucking deal. Feeds me for the whole goddamn day. I'm good to go. As I'm driving into Subway, what?
Feeds you for the whole goddamn day. For 30 minutes, maybe.
Fat Joe. See? This is why we're here. So,
Ching, baby!
You gotta stop. Here's the thing. When you make the joke, live in it. The audience can tell that it's funny. They'll laugh at it. You don't have to.
I'm a joke celebrator. It's part of my
You don't need to be a living, breathing. Yeah, but you're a living, breathing Big Bang Theory laugh track. You can chill, okay? You can chill the fuck out. All right?
I didn't like.
We
that
know when something's funny.
Okay, continue on. Continue on. I've derailed this with the fat joke. Let's go.
Jesus Christ! Because I'm talking about fucking Subway. I need to get it tied together. So shut the fuck up. And let me continue.
Okay.
So I'm getting out of the car.
Where we're going with this?
I'm getting out of the car. Now I was in my dad's Beetle because my car was in the shop getting the rim redone. I get out of the car and I look up and I see 2 fighter jets fucking scream across the sky. Now I'm in Baltimore. There's Aberdeen Proving Ground, the Chesapeake Bay's right there. They're military planes that fly all over. It happens, right? I don't usually see them at that rate of speed, and I don't usually see them on that flight path. Like, usually you can tell where planes are coming in and out of any kind of city or what the military planes usually do. I haven't seen that.
What planes were they?
Look like F-16s. F-16s or F-18s. I couldn't tell. They were far. They were
far away. Yeah.
They weren't Raptors or anything. I knew that.
They weren't the 35s or 22s. They're fighter jets. Yes.
I don't think so. They don't usually fly those up here. So because usually it's National Guard shit that I think is mostly flown.
Oh, it's National Guard. Yeah, and they don't have the poor National Guard.
Yeah, they're not giving the fucking F-22s to do anything, right? You maybe get interceptors get scrambled from Virginia Beach, and they usually head up towards DC. So I see the 2 fighter planes, and immediately my mind goes to, I was on Twitter earlier that day, and there's a guy who does a lot of the videos for like the Ukraine or whatever, like dropping videos about what's happening with the troops and everything over there. Is that OSINT something or another? I should have had it pulled up.
Yeah. I follow those people on Twitter too.
You follow?
Yeah.
So what he was showing is that they were looking at flight paths of military aircraft up and down the East Coast. And everyone that was watching it were all saying the same thing. And these are all like military heads or whatever, the guys maybe former vets that now they spend their entire time on Twitter just talking about shit. They're like, we have never seen those flight paths up and down the Chesapeake that fucking stringent. And there was somebody that said they had a fucking AWAC, which the reconnaissance plane, flying up and down the East Coast, which is really weird. They don't usually do that. And if they're going to do it, sometimes they'll announce they're doing military exercises so nobody freaks the fuck out about it, right? So I just saw that morning. I see the planes fly up overhead, okay? Now, this is also combated on, we hear the story about the Chinese weather balloon that we shot down in South Carolina. We still don't know what those flying objects were that they shot down over the Midwest and over Canada and over Alaska, right? No idea what those are. No clue what those are. Which is fucking weird, right? They said they were they were octagonal shape, hexagonal or octagonal shape. They blow it up. Then they tell us, some of it landed on ice, so it should be easy to recover. We still haven't heard shit, okay?
No recovery. They even announced it. Yeah.
Right.
They haven't recovered shit.
You have, what I saw was the radar over Montana, which was nutty. It looked like somebody, like a plane just sprayed chaff across the entire fucking state. It made no goddamn sense. Something lit up the fucking sky as far as that goes, right? I see the night before, there's a fucking meteorite that explodes over Texas, shaking houses and shit, right? And this is after a meteorite was somewhere in fucking Europe doing the same goddamn thing. There was the train derailment in Ohio, right?
That's terrible. Yes.
It was terrible accident, right? But
yes, awful.
there are 3 active train derailments that they're dealing with right now across the United States. Major ones, right?
The only one I know about is in, what is it? East Palestine. Yeah.
The Ohio one,
one
happened in Texas, and there's somewhere else. Or no, there's another one that happened in Ohio. There's 2 in Ohio now, and 1 in Texas.
Yeah, the one in so train derailments are always bad. It's the one in East Palestine. It's horrible because of what it's carrying, and we're just going to see.
Horrible.
I mean, yeah.
And then they had a controlled burn that released all the shit up in the sky. There's a guy on TikTok, some Asian engineering student or something. He been doing these videos about like the chemical stuff that was in it. It was actually really, really interesting. And you saw how the media is not talking about certain aspects of it, right? Now I know
the media is barely covering it.
So, when I hear all these things that are happening, right, and I get out of my car as I'm walking in the subway, and I see the fighter jets fly across, and I can't explain shit. Does shit just seem weird to you right now?
I mean, the UFOs seem weird. The other stuff sounds terrible. But no. You know, I don't have a conspiracy bone in my body. Like, I just don't have one.
I don't... See, here's the thing that I think people... George Carlin used to say this, and I always thought it was... very, I thought it was, I wish I could, I want to pull the quote specifically, because I don't want to butcher Carlin, because Carlin's not a...
Carlin was hysterical, but he was also a bit mad, so you have to remember that.
I think Carlin is one of the biggest geniuses we've ever had to walk the face of the earth. All right, so George Carlin...
Biggest comedic geniuses, for sure.
There's no need for formal conspiracies when all these economic and political elites share the same ideology, which they learn from their environment growing up in similar positions of privilege within the dominant culture. Conspiracy does not mean guys in cloaks in parking garages plotting, or people making sacrifices in fucking Bohemian Grove. All it means is that rich people...
I don't get that reference.
In the rooms that they're in. Huh? You don't get Bohemian Grove?
The Bohemian Grove.
Google it. It's where all these... There's a place in California that a bunch of rich, powerful white men, usually white men, would all come to yearly. So you say you don't believe conspiracy theories, but I'm just going to read Bohemian Grove. Bohemian Grove is a restricted 2,700-acre campground in Monterey, California, belonging to a private San Francisco-based gentlemen's club known as the Bohemian Club. In mid-July each year, Bohemian Grove hosts more than a 2-week encampment of some of the most prominent men in the entire world. The club motto is "Weaving spiders come not here." I'm going to pull up the list of people that they've seen at Bohemian Grove. Members of
I don't
Bohemian
understand.
Club.
Like, if you told me there was, like, horrible things going on, like, you know, like Jeffrey Epstein style shit there, I wouldn't be surprised. But like conspiracy to rule the world, like that type of shit, that I'm skeptical of. If it's rich people doing horrible things, like I'd be thinking more likely they're hunting the most dangerous game there than it is to be like.
No, they're not doing that. George H.W. Bush. This list is like insanely long. I'm just pulling up names.
But I mean, these are current and former members because he's dead now. Yes.
Yeah. Of course. David Gergen.
Okay.
Same list as fucking George Bush, right? Newt Gingrich.
What?
Newt Gingrich.
Mm-hmm.
William Randolph Hearst.
Mm-hmm.
Oliver Wendell Holmes. Herbert Hoover.
Mm-hmm.
Henry Kissinger.
Yeah. I don't know
Jack
what you want me
London.
to say. It seems like one of the many like exclusive clubs for the rich and powerful men, who undoubtedly they do influence peddling there. But it doesn't sound like a conspiracy to me. It just sounds like one of the ways that power structures perpetuate itself. Which
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that. That's why I said that I don't believe it has to be Bohemian Grove, right? But what I am saying is that when you have rich and powerful people that all want the same thing, which is to be more rich and more powerful.
Or just
you don't necessarily need
right.
You don't necessarily need to meet in secret meetings to know what works for you guys and how to move to get you guys what you want.
Yeah, I agree.
You see what I'm saying?
I agree with that in general, for sure. Yeah, but I just don't see how these incidents. Now, the one is like the one that I think is fascinating, and one is horrible. Like the train derailment in Ohio, that's an epic fuck up. People are going to get sick and have cancer. Like. It's going to be awful. The people of East Palestine are almost certainly going to suffer for decades because of this. Huge fuck up. There should be huge lawsuits against the government, against who was the EPA for not doing things faster. for whoever was the operator of that train carrying those chemicals. It's horrific, right? And if those chemicals can't be transported safely on trains, they should not be transported safely on trains. And it's also if the derailment had something to do with our failing infrastructure, that's another huge scandal. We obviously know infrastructure in this country is fucked. Now we got a bill that's supposed to fix it, but it doesn't happen overnight. Sue the state and federal government again for failing to have good tracks. It's awful.
I do find it hilarious that Republicans
and I find it
about infrastructure.
Yeah, and I find it awful, and I find it another example of likely both combination government fuck up and private sector fuck up. Those are horrific, and they often have incredibly disastrous consequences for people. But I don't see that as a conspiracy. I see that as greed and power, being greedy and powerful, and not adjusting fast enough. The Russian shit, I mean, Russia's pissed that we're giving them tanks. So, of course, they're going to do these provocative things next to our country. They do it all the time when they're annoyed with us. It's just one of the power plays, right? We send planes up to escort them, and then they come back down. And if they do it again the next day, and they maybe not do it tomorrow, but I guarantee you they'll do it in the next week.
I get it. I get it. It's usually some fucking hard power flex.
The UFO shit is weird. I don't understand this. That is the one thing that I like. I have no fucking clue what's going on. It's freaky as shit. What are these weird things going on? Yeah.
Now, the thing is, the train derailment itself, the reason I brought it up in the first place was that things feel extremely uneasy to me right now. Like 2020 felt depressing and terrifying in the sense that we didn't know how bad it was going to get. Or you didn't know if people that you knew were going to be victims of whatever were happening.
Yeah,
the type of fear that came with that. 2021 happens, and we're mainly talking about January 6th. And then after we're kind of
2021 was a slog, bro. It was just a slog trying to get through the pandemic because the election was over. Yeah, it was
2022. 2022 is one of those years that kind of just went through really fast. I think people trying to get back up to where it was.
It was the first year in a while that felt kind of like normal. It wasn't completely normal, but it was the first year in a long time.
2023 to me feels uneasy. Shit don't feel solid right now. And that's where I'm going. Stop fiddling with shit.
Sorry.
Things just feel uneasy. Like, even I know that things happen and they can happen all. Like, I don't think the earthquake in Turkey has anything to do with the train derailment in Ohio, right? But the combination of those two things happening together with meteorites falling from the sky in a clip that we don't usually see in populated areas, with we don't understand what the fuck is going on with the anomaly over the northern half of the country and or the northern, like, top 10% of the country and Canada and Alaska and shit. It just feels as though nobody has answers to shit that I just want to know, and I don't have anyone necessarily providing any reassurance in that way, and it just feels uneasy. I don't like feeling this way. Now, I do have a bit of conspiracy that ties up the Russian jets and the UFOs, along with the Chinese weather balloon, if you'd like to hear my theory there.
Go for it. Go for it.
I think we are now at the place where extraterrestrials going to make themselves known. And I think there's a lot of activity.
I love that. As long as they're nice. I prefer they be nice.
Well, that's the thing. I know you like... we'll talk about what it is that happens when they get here. But I think that there's a lot of activity happening in the United States as far as them researching or trying to figure out shit. I think what the Chinese did was release a bunch of these weather balloons with very low-key technology in the hopes of not scaring off the UFOs that usually dart out of Dodge when you have fast-moving or military planes or anything in the area. They thought, let's go old school with the shit and just use balloon. We'll use balloons to kind of track the area. They can move slow, and they can pick up things and not necessarily alarm whatever extraterrestrial things are happening there.
That shouldn't say.
Come on, all of it's batshit insane. We're at UFO territory, man. The Secretary of Defense said he couldn't rule it out.
Yes. No, okay, so that's a batshit insane theory. The fucking weather balloon, Chinese, they were spying on us. That's simple. The Russians pissed we gave tanks to Ukraine.
They were spying on the UFOs.
No, they were spying on us. Not UFOs,
on the UFOs.
America. The UFOs, I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. They could be spy things from Russia or China. I think it's more likely than not that they have a terrestrial origin, whether that's atmospheric or secret tech from the private sector or another nation. I think it's more likely now, but we can't discount the possibility that it's aliens. I think again highly unlikely, but it's not zero. And if the aliens come, I'm interested to see what happens. I don't think it'll be an apocalyptic scenario. I don't think it's going to be Independence Day. I think it's more likely, as I've told you before, they view Earth as a nature preserve. They're like the National Geographic photographers. They're observing us in our natural habitat.
A reality
right?
TV show like South Park.
Or a reality TV show, or they're watching us for. I mean, that's essentially what the National Geographic things is when they do the deep dive on the family of animals. It's a reality TV show with animals. That maybe the aliens are doing that with us, right?
I'm just saying, if you couple
I guarantee you, if
with...
humans achieve that level of technology and we look at a primitive species, there will be a strong contingent of people who just want to tune into their fucking space televisions to watch what the aliens with 4 legs are doing today.
There are
Real
more
Housewives
UFOs.
of Alpha Centauri.
There are a lot more UFOs that we know about, because I actually think the DOD is being more open than I'd ever expect them to be about this, which means there's a lot more happening, because they never tell us the full thing. And the military planes that I'm seeing over Baltimore and along the coast, they are trying to figure out their defenses. They are trying to shore up American defenses to try to figure out what's going to happen when these motherfuckers show up. And that President Bill Pullman is not here to save us.
So I also think they're now I have to say I would be surprised if the increased fighter presence isn't a result of the UFOs. That would surprise me, right? I think they're probably hunting for more of them and responding to potential sightings of these things because, right, they're not very big. They're the size of a small car, so they're not easy to pick up. They're weird. No one can figure out what the fuck they are. Yeah, what they told us about. So yeah, and of course the USA government, the American government, is rightfully concerned that we have weird shit we can't explain floating, maybe not even floating, existing in our airspace. Right? Very understandable concern. So I'm not surprised there.
I think
again,
Russia's
I don't think
scrambling
it's
jets. I think Russia's saying keep that shit over there.
I don't think that's happening. I think it's much more likely Russia's angry about the tanks we gave to Ukraine.
They say, keep that shit in there. Do not let it spread out. As Sarah Palin says,
USA,
she
Canada
Russia
to be first
from her house.
I want to be first contact USA, Canada, so we can establish the profitable trading relations for the aliens, for the very cool super lasers.
When I'm more right about this situation, we'll come back to the UFO thing. But we need to get out of here soon, so let's move on. Super Bowl. How was your Super Bowl watching experience? What were you doing? Where were you? What did you eat? What was going on?
Just watched it with my family, and I made a great, nice plate of nachos and some sliders. The sliders were great. Unfortunately, both the convenience store and the grocery store did not stock, not that they were out of, slider buns, so we had to go real low-rent hot dog buns cut in half.
And that was after you called me to try to get you to navigate through it, right?
I asked you for advice. I was like, is it better to do sliders on straight-up full-size buns, or are we going to go hot dog buns cut in half? Because I don't prepare sliders like I prepare burgers. I don't make patties. I make a huge shit of, like, whatchamacallit, ground beef mixed with stuff for flavor, and then I spread it on top of the buns, right? Put the buns over it in the oven. And so it...
You do it like White Castle style.
Yeah, like White Castle style, right? You slice them down the middle, the buns down the middle, open it up, spread down. Yeah, exactly, White Castle
Devin
style.
told me she tried to eat one of your sliders, and it just fell apart on her. The meat was not.
It would.
Find it.
Yeah.
It just fell apart.
They were messy, but they were delicious. Yes.
All right.
And the nachos were, I think, even better. And the Super Bowl game was awesome.
I just asked about your viewing experience. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it. What was your viewing experience? Yeah,
I was right here on the couch. I was right here on the couch the day before. I went and bought a shit ton of Wingos from DC.
Which is unfortunate.
It's not unfortunate we have an air fryer.
Day-old wings.
It's
even
not
with the air fryer.
Unfortunately, we haven't. Nope. See, you haven't tried it yet. That's I just know that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. In some aspects, depending on how you like it, because I did boneless wings, they make them almost perfect. because it crisps up some of the outside a little bit more. And I always ask for extra sauce and stuff that I can pour on top of them so they don't dry out. And
that's my thing, is that the wings dry out the next day.
Dog, you know how fat I am, and you know that I get down when it comes to fucking cooking. I ain't no bum.
Yeah, you do. You're not just a whatchamacallit.
Yeah, what?
Let's just say you enjoy your food. You like good food, not just food in general. That's what I was trying to say.
You were going to call me a bum nigger, weren't you? You piece of shit. I could see
I don't know how that would be similar.
Face. Just see it in your white face. You wanted to call me the N-word, you son of a bitch. God damn you, man.
A gourmand. A gourmand was the term I was looking for.
You were looking for the N-word.
Yes.
I know. I can see it.
Yes, I was looking for the N-word. That's exactly true.
I had the girlfriend. She was here with me at some points, and then she'd go back to the bedroom to watch her whatever fucking shows she's watching. So I had like the perfect balance. It's like I'm here chilling, got my game, got my drinks, got my thing going, and it was amazing on the big screen.
What'd you have for drinks?
Rock Creek Fruit Punch.
Okay, yeah, you told me that. Yeah. I didn't have anything.
If you're a DC resident and you don't know where Rock Creek Fruit Punch is, you can't call yourself a Washington.
Yeah, I was mocked for not knowing what Rock Creek Fruit Punch was when I told him I
also didn't know
what the hell he was drinking.
You were late to knowing what Letterri's was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true.
Which is just blasphemy.
I enjoy Letterri's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Letterri's is wonderful.
Palisades is Potomac South. It's not. It's not DC.
We're not even next to Potomac. You can call us Bethesda.
No, I'm saying
South.
Potomac South. No. You don't get Bethesda because you're not as populated or as cool as Bethesda. You're much more of an enclave unto yourself with your own little parades.
Dude, sidebar.
No
one's going to be interested in us. You know we're getting a high school, right?
Is that happening? Are they doing
Yes, it's opening up this fall. It's going to be our middle school. Hardy is now no longer going to go to Wilson. It's going to go to MacArthur High School. We're getting a high school.
Where are they building it?
It's down. This is so inside baseball. Down MacArthur Boulevard, where the old Georgetown prep, not kindergarten, elementary and middle school used to be. Kind of down by the reservoir on MacArthur, down towards Georgetown, the reservoir.
Where the Safeway stuff was.
About a mile past that. Yeah, and they have a ready-made.
Back there. I know what you're talking about.
Back there, yeah. And so
no, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. What more?
It's just gonna be so white.
What more do the Palisades want than to have their own goddamn schools? No subway access to keep yourselves away from the black people and the poor people.
And no minorities. That's what kills me. This is going to be a white suburban high school.
That zip code, how much of that zip code voted for Obama and voted against Trump in both elections?
I have no clue. A lot. I mean, we're one of the more Republican areas of the district, and we're still like 70-30 for Democrats.
White people ain't shit. Y'all ain't shit.
How'd you end up at Hardy?
Huh?
Oh, it was Mr. Pope. That's right, because it was Hyde. I
had a guardian white angel that said we can let a few black people over to Georgetown for an education. So
not my favorite person was his guardian white angel.
Not because he was helping too many black people. I understand.
No, because he was an asshole.
No, because y'all wanted more say, and here's what he knew. He knew that if I let these crackers have more say, it'll be more white. So I ain't letting them get a word in.
He eventually pissed off the administration, like the D.C. Central Administration, so much.
Because what was happening? The people over there in your area pay more taxes than the people in the rest of the goddamn city. And when y'all complain about shit, it matters more than the people there in other parts of the city.
I mean, that's true, but it's possibly because he got into huge, like he was not... Let's put it like this. It's very important as a principal to be a deft political navigator, especially in a school system as fucked up as
that was not
DC's
his. No. That was the thing was that navigator. at his heart, he was an educator. And at his heart, he knew that there were inequalities within the DCPS system that was not allowing black and brown kids to get a quality education within the district. Outside of this city, what is the reputation of DCPS?
Dog shit. Yeah.
Thank you. Me and you. did we not have a quality fucking K through 12 education?
Yes, absolutely. But
and we stayed in DCPS.
But we both
didn't
went
spend
to
any years outside that.
Yeah, no.
But it was in
we both
DCPS.
we both went to like the best at each level, like the best elementary.
Did you live on that side of town? Did you live on that side of town going to your in-boundary schools?
Every school I went to was in-boundary. I never went to
none of mine where I had to drive across the city.
Yeah. Yes, I agree. It was fucked up because of the inequalities, and I have no problem with Mr. Pope bringing in fighting hard to increase the black population at Hardy. But I have a problem with a lot of other shit he did.
But here's the thing: if the black population at Hardy wasn't as high as it was, the black population at Wilson isn't as high as it is.
Yeah,
he knows that because it's a feeder school at that point, right?
Feeder school, yeah.
So he knew when you look back at the articles the Washington Post wrote about him, and with the education system and all that shit, what you find out is that what he was doing was in all the PTA meetings. The parents over in Georgetown and Palisades were very upset that they did not feel as though Pope was doing a good enough job bringing kids from the neighborhood into the school. Because another thing that you want to mention is the percentage of kids that live in your area that went to private school compared to public school is the highest. It's the craziest ratio in the city.
By far the highest. Yeah, Ward 3, which is my area. It's got to be way less than half in Ward 3 go to public schools versus private schools, right?
See what I'm saying?
Way less.
So
yeah.
That's what that Pope didn't care about the white parents. That's what you have to realize. But he's a hero for that, not a villain. But let's get back to the Super Bowl.
Okay.
You had Philadelphia winning.
Yep, I was wrong.
Did not happen.
Thrilled I was wrong.
Like I've said, and I'm going to say time and time again, Patrick Mahomes is a god. And he still hasn't reached the ceiling.
Best quarterback in the NFL.
And it's going to be insane.
Yeah.
All right, what did you think about the penalty?
It was the correct call, and I hated it anyways. That's pretty much how I think. He did grab his jersey. It was holding. And I hated it that the game came down to what was a correct, if soft, penalty. And I was rooting for the Chiefs, too. Yeah.
I blame James Bradbury for doing it. And what I do is I look at that and say it's a very unfortunate way to end what was an extremely entertaining game because it could have even been more entertaining. And that part of it sucks. But the only person who did anything wrong was James Bradbury.
But James Bradbury, yeah.
Especially if you look at the situation.
He grabbed him. He tugged his jersey. From the angles they released later, you can see when he was turning the corner, he tugged his jersey a little bit.
And the thing is that if you see you're getting beat like that, do you know what you do if you're coached properly? Let him go score the touchdown. Let him take it. You want it more than you want that penalty.
Oh, of course, because you're right. Because the penalty sucks, but it doesn't. No, the touchdown sucks, but it doesn't kill you at all.
You get the ball back.
You get the ball back, and you have a one-score game.
Let
the penalty
them
is
score.
the death. Yeah, the penalty, like they did the very next play when they tried to let what's his name
when McKinnon
the
went
running
down.
back McKinnon slid. Yeah, you're right.
But Tony was
much better scenario.
Judy's a dumbass. There's no chance he's not going to score.
Yeah.
So
also, I don't think he catches that ball. I don't think he catches the ball. I think it's incomplete.
I think the route and everything looks extremely different if he doesn't get help, which is the whole point.
Okay.
Which I also think Patrick Mahomes saw the hold, which is why he let the ball go the way he did. He knew he had it.
You think he just threw it? He had it.
I think he knew he had it. Because here's the thing. When you look at the other angle of that play and you see the full extension of the fucking jersey.
When you see the side view. Yeah. That's what makes it so easy. All the time, because that's what happens. It's like if you hold somebody as they're coming across the field and the refs are kind of shielded while you're tugging their jersey, that's one thing, right? But if the person is running down the field and you're pulling them from behind, the ref is standing on the sideline and is looking right at that, and he can see the jersey getting pulled. He's not going to miss that. The angles from the sides are better than.
I will say this before we move on to the halftime show. I was doing a podcast with Amit earlier, Dish Divided. He brought up something. I still mean to look it up. Rob Ninkovich, former Patriots linebacker, said the thing that bothered him the most is that when the Patriots played, they knew certain things. Why, if you know your opponent is wearing a white jersey, would you wear black gloves and not white gloves?
Yeah, that's true.
Because if you wear white gloves, the refs can't see it. And then when you start thinking about those details and like knowing what the Patriots are potentially doing as far as those kind of details, Bill Belichick, that is so fucking smart, and I never thought about it.
Yeah, of course. It's like I like to call that the anti-Minnesota Vikings, where the Minnesota Vikings refused to wear the right cleats recommended to them by the equipment manager in the final game of the season. Now, second to last game against the season against the Packers. They're the anti-Minnesota Vikings.
Well, the other thing about the Super Bowl is that nobody had the right fucking cleats for that.
The Eagles slipped more often. That field was so awful, and it's not like the NFL didn't spend time and money on it. They legit did.
They do the same thing every year. It's $800,000. It's $800,000 every year to a guy they call the Sodfather. That he spends his entire time treating and making sure they have the right field for next season. I think it had more to do with whatever they used to paint the grass. Than it did with the actual grass itself. Also, the Sodfather was a huge Kansas City fan, so conspiracy theory, baby. Kansas City's players did statistically slip less often than Philadelphia players. If the fucking Eagles over, conspiracy me on. I love it.
Go Sodfather. Go Sodfather. I really want that to be true. Yeah.
Now, you hate black women, which is why you texted me that Rihanna sucked in her performance. I didn't say that. You said that she sucks and she should go back to her country.
What did I say? It was the Jeb Bush of halftime performance.
You said, what fucking island is she from, and can we boot her back there?
Barbados. And no, I enjoy Rihanna.
Or you looked it up.
Yeah. No, I know. I don't know much about music. I'm not a fan of really any artist because I'm not a music fan. But as far as artists go, I really like Rihanna as much as I can.
I still don't believe that.
And I don't understand why.
I don't buy that at all.
Rockstar was my full, last 2 years of college. Every time I went out, I was listening to that as my pregame song. It was so good. She's an awesome, awesome recording artist. And it's understandable that it was low energy because not only did she have a baby 9 months ago, it turned out she was pregnant during the thing, too. So, yes, there's understandable reasons why it was a low energy halftime that didn't give me the spectacle. Also, it sucked that I was comparing it to last year's, which was just fucking bonkers so good. But yeah, it was fine. I sent you that Ringer article. That's how I feel. It was fine. It was a low energy halftime performance. It wasn't bad. I like her music.
I just think the article written by the Ringer employee and yourself speaks to me as people that are not aware of who Rihanna is and what she does when she performs. Rihanna is a vibe.
So me, that's true. That's true. I don't. I don't watch people perform.
Vibe. She's not a rah type. She has the sultry eyes, the look, and she barely moves. She got some of the dances down. She is seductive. Being seductive is not flailing or fucking around. You can be sexy that way. That's not what Rihanna is. She's seductive. Britney Spears, sexy. Shakira J-Lo, sexy.
Yeah.
Seductive Rihanna.
Maybe that's her style of performance. You in. You know what?
But
live music is one of my least favorite things.
The music was bangers.
The music is bangers. Her songs are bangers. They're not just slow seductive. They're awesome.
I think she nailed that as far as the Super. I think what ends up happening is that people think the spectacle is the more important part of it. And it's not to me. It's how it is.
The spectacle is important to me. It's the only time. Let's be real. The Super Bowl is legit the only time a year, unless I watch the Oscars, which I generally don't. No, I do watch the Oscars. So the Oscars and because the Oscars and the Super Bowl are legit the 2 times a year I watch live music. That's it. The Oscars and the Super Bowl. So I want spectacle.
You are the biggest basic bitch on the planet.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
2 times a year I watch live music.
If you say that, you know what happens? You forfeited every right to be critical of any performance.
No.
You don't have enough data points, sir.
Because the Super Bowl is geared towards people like me. It's geared towards people like me.
No, it's not. It's not geared
probably
towards people like you. You are watching the game, jackass.
People who don't care. Yeah,
and what is the people that
you're right. It's not. It's geared towards the people who don't really much care about the football, but like the
Rihanna
music
fans.
Of that.
That's what they're trying to bring in now. Rihanna fan, and guess what? Rihanna fans are saying they love the fucking performance. And anyone that was there at the Super Bowl, you're a Barstool guy. When you listen to what Dave had to say, or what Big Cat had to say, or any of the guys that were there, they said it was fucking amazing.
I don't have any problem disagreeing with them. It wasn't made for me.
Just saying,
I thought it was fine.
You texted me and wanted to start a fucking race
because I had an amazing comment. Because I had an amazing comment. I was so proud of my comment.
What was the comment?
The Jeb Bush of halftime shows. Yes,
I was so proud. All the way around. Brendan is at his happiest when he gets to use references to dunk on people that don't agree with him politically. That's it.
I get to use the Jeb Bush reference. I was so happy with that one. That's why I texted it, because I thought of that and I laughed to myself and I had to share it with you. Yeah.
Moving on, Last of Us. Are you caught up?
Yes.
What do you think about this last episode?
I thought it was so good, except for the Hulk zombie. The Hulk infected, rather. That, I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But the rest of the episode was so good that I was able to overlook the fucking Hulk infected coming out of the thing and screaming and ripping people's heads off, which I was like, what's going on here? But I love the fact that, so I know, like, Henry's, like, was a great character, because at one point I'm like, yeah, I understand he did it all for Sam, right? He did it for his brother. But at the other point, you're like, he really fucked up, right? It's clear that Kathleen is a psycho, and her brother was an amazing dude, and now the city is, like, fucked because he turned...
Oh, it's not.
And whatchamacallit, the Fedra of Kansas City were not just like the normal Nazis that we're seen everywhere else. They were like the extra special evil Nazis.
The SS came to run Kansas City.
For Kansas City, yeah. So, yeah, I understand that he wanted to save his brother, but not only did he do it for a horrible SS group to save his brother, but then he set in motion a path of events that was, I assume, clear that Kathleen was going to take over after her brother died, and she's a bit of a psycho, and then she burns the fucking city to the ground, and that's before all the infected get loosed. Right? So then it's just like horrible. And then, of course, it was very sad because obviously Sam was blameless in this. And Sam
That's the
got
thing.
bit.
When Kathleen says
Sam,
you shouldn't have fucked with fate.
Yeah.
They all ended up dead
what?
anyway.
Yeah.
They all ended
up dead anyways.
It didn't matter.
Everything was worse off. The whole city is fucked. And it started with the decision what's his name made. It started with the decision Henry made to betray, but what was his name? Date? What was the leader's name?
I forget what the
whatever.
name is.
Yeah. But nonetheless, to betray him, who, again, everyone in the show goes out of their way to tell us that he was such a great guy, who even told Kathleen to forgive, whatchamacallit, Henry for what he did.
He completely fucked it up, which is what makes... Look, if you come to feel good, The Last of Us is not for you. It will never be for you. I promise you, as someone who's played the game multiple times, it is never, ever going to be something to make you feel good. Now, as far as what you were saying, as far as the big... There are different types of infected. Runners, stalkers, clickers, bloaters, shamblers,
I like the
rat
clickers.
kings.
I like the clickers. The clickers from episode 2. This one, I was like, no, get the fuck out of here. We have Hulk infected. Oh,
no, wait until you see the Rat King. Wait until you see the Rat King.
Well, is it going to be better? Because the Hulk zombies popping up, I was like, it was wildly unnecessary.
But it keeps in line with the video game. You can understand why they would have more powerful ones in the video game.
I would understand you want it in the video game, right? You need enemy diversity in the video game, and a video game is important.
But how one becomes a bloater is important to the storyline.
Okay, so what type of infected was the Hulk infected?
A bloater.
Okay. It's important to the story in the video game. It's important to the story in the TV show.
That's another question I meant to ask.
Yeah.
We're still really early.
How closely are we adhering? So I didn't do it for the last 2 episodes, but I did after episode 3 to see how similar it was. And I know in the video game, Bill is alive when they get here and dies later, and is very angry and alone after. What was Bill's husband's name?
Frank.
Frank. After Frank dies, of same shit, of like cancer. How similarly has episode 4 and 5 hewed to
They're sticking to it.
So Kathleen's a real character. Was it like he was a rat, like whatchamacallit? Henry was a rat who was hunted by them because he betrayed them and all that stuff?
what the Henry Sam thing all pretty much happens the way that it did in the video game, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. And it ends with Sam getting infected, Henry shooting him, and then blowing his brains out?
Yes.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw Henry and Sam, I was like, are they going to take it there? And they absolutely 100% take it there. And I
have to say, I did not.
Okay.
I did not see. I am not surprised that one of them got bit, because it's a show about zombies, right? Infections happen, right? I was surprised when
it's a scratch.
Henry.
He got scratched, not bit.
Oh, he got scratched. Okay, yeah. I wasn't surprised about that. I was surprised that they had Henry commit suicide after killing. It wasn't really Sam, right? Infected Sam. Yeah, that was surprising. I was like, oh man, is he gonna shoot himself now? And then, yeah, he did.
It makes all.
It makes sense. It was his entire reason for doing everything he did, and it was gone.
And it didn't mean anything, right?
And it didn't mean anything.
He sold his soul to do all of it. It meant nothing, and everyone ended up dead. He didn't
save his brother. Everyone ended up dead anyway. So yeah.
So Last of Us.
So what did you think?
Still fucking great. I thought it was amazing.
What did you think?
I liked. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I thought it was amazing. I loved if they are sticking to the game, because I really think the game's story alone is enough to contain it. Now, I do think that people are already getting a little upset about what it is. The people that think the show is being woke, like they looked at the Bill and Frank episode and like, what the fuck, man? Bill's dead. Bill's gay in the game.
Oh yeah,
he's on to gay porno in the truck.
Yeah, but what's
there are other people.
What's woke about? What's woke about woke? Sorry, about the last two episodes. I think it's bullshit that they thought it, but I can understand why assholes would review bomb it.
They
on
also
IMDb
think people were giving Kathleen shit because her body shape was not the same as the character in the game, so they thought, oh, they're just doing this to be more inclusive of this, that, and the other. What do you mean? What does that mean? Why do I need to explain it any further than that?
Was she like a bikini model in the game?
She's a little thicker than there was. No, she's just thicker than she was in the.
So let's go video game. Okay. It's not showing me a good picture of Kathleen in the video game. Did she go by a different name, or they changed the name of the character?
No. They might have changed. They changed up some stuff.
Oh,
I'm trying to remember the Kathleen all the way through. It's kind of changed. She's an amalgamation of some stuff, and I think Abby.
Okay, I don't understand. I thought what's her name did a great job.
All right, Melanie Lansky, whatever.
Yeah,
but there's some
she did a great
issues that
job.
people have had. There are issues that some people have had with the casting that think that it's woke. They're just being assholes about it.
Pedro Pascal is so good as Jill, and so is who's the actress? The actor, I'm sorry, who plays Ellie. She is
Bella Ramsey.
Wonderful as well. Bella Ramsey and Pedro Pascal are so good. But obviously, so Bella Ramsey I knew of, but I not a huge fan. But Pedro Pascal, I just ever since Game of Thrones, the man's is awesome. Yeah,
he's awesome. He's having a hell of a year. The Last of Us and The Mandalorian's coming out soon.
Last of Us, The Mandalorian, yeah, awesome.
End the episode. Any other things that you need to tell the people?
Don't vote for Nikki Haley. Hey, your computer didn't crash again.
It didn't. All right, bye, guys.